Flight fright. My 90-minute flight was canceled only for the replacement flight to take 10 hours. A woman was left stunned after her 90-minute flight was canceled only to rebook one that took 10 hours by mistake. Has this ever happened to you, man?
No, but I could just see how annoying that is because, first of all, it's like here in LA, it's like, I don't know, it's like we're going to Vegas or something.
Right.
And then now you got to go to
Detroit.
New York and then to Vegas where you're like, I could have driven.
Yeah.
You know, it's 5 hours. But it is.
Okay, Alexandra Duffin, she's traveling from Sydney to Melbourne with Jetstar. It usually takes 90 minutes to go from Sydney to Melbourne. So she, despite her flight taking off at 9:45, she received an email from the airline at 12 p.m. saying it had been canceled due to operational requirements, which I always love. They're like, you better. We've learned that in the pandemic too. If we got to get somewhere for work, we had to fly early in the morning. Now there's no.
Oh, of course.
There's no chilling with a.
No, that I think for flights that we have to get there because of the show, like we need to. For me, like I do it either early in the morning or the day before, like a red eye, because it prevents if there's any delays or if there's anything like that, you're at least it's better to be there like. Just early because
100%.
The worst thing as a performer is to let's say you have a show at 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. and you get there at 4, but then it's obviously there's going to be some delay or you have to, there's a line to rent the car, or there's a line to get the Uber and all that shit like that, man. You got to do it
I'm going to Arkansas this weekend. I'm taking the red eye. So I get in at 9 so you can get centered. She had to rebook her flight. She found one at 8:25. I really empathize with this because I have often... So you forget, right? You're in a rush and you forget.
Yeah.
So for those of you following, this is Australia. And now instead of going Sydney to Melbourne...
Which is what? You've been in Australia, so what's that compared to U.S.? What's Sydney to Melbourne? It's like what?
Oh, it's 90 minutes. It would be like San Francisco. I would say maybe L.A. to San Francisco.
No, because that's like an hour.
Okay, L.A. to, I don't know, what's up the coast then, Northern California or whatever.
Yeah, okay. But
90 minutes, man. You can still be in California, Northern California.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So it's 90 minutes. I mean, it's a
quick flight.
It's misleading to look at the map because you got to remember Australia is huge.
I know, that's what I mean. Yeah.
And so it was Sydney to Melbourne, but instead they sent her Sydney to Darwin,
which is Darwin
Melbourne.
is where?
Darwin is north, so you're still dealing with north-south.
Got it.
But I don't know, but it's so much bigger than America. I feel like it's like sending somebody to New York or Boston.
just to go back to San Francisco.
I bet I think they've got the mileage in here for those, anybody who's following around. But the long flight was because instead of the direct flight from Sydney to Melbourne, 444 miles. So how far away is San Fran?
That I don't know.
She'd be flying to the north of Australia, a whopping 3,898 miles.
Jeez.
More than 240,000 people watched her on TikTok. So she talked about this on TikTok. Now, I think she ended up, somebody made the joke of you save on a hotel, which is it's such I feel like when I see American TV, every now and then on American TV with the 24-hour subways and stuff, you see somebody sleeping on the subway. Oh, that's a strategy.
Yeah.
For staying out of the cold and...
No, exactly. Yeah.
Train all night, but not often do people do it with flights.
No. Yeah.
With others had similar horror stories. Somebody commented that the same thing had happened to them. They wanted us to fly to Tasmania than Sydney, and it would have taken 10 hours. It's crazy. I don't even see how that's financially viable for an airline.
Well, that's the thing with airlines that they do. That sometimes it's weird where they go they, you see the slow flights, but I mean, obviously it's whatever works for them. I mean, whatever logistics, it's all logistics in terms of what's for them to save money. But I mean, there's sometimes where you go I'm not going to go, the flights is go this way, then to come back or take 2 stops. I never do 2 stops.
No?
I don't do 2 stops. No.
Oh,
I'm not a 2-stop guy. I mean, if I'm flying in the U.S., nah. No, I mean, if I would have to do obviously an international flight where it's longer, then obviously you have to do 2 stops. But I'm not doing 2 stops here, man. No, just to save $50.
I mean, sometimes what if the savings is bigger? And that's what I'll ask you.
It has to be if the flight's 500 and then 2 stops is 150. then yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big chunk.
Because that does happen here in the interior of America, like Milwaukee, St. Louis, Detroit kind of stuff. I'm often looking at the costs and I'm like, and it's like big. It's palpable. It's like a $600 savings. Yeah. And the way I do the math sometimes is I tell myself I'm paying myself $200 an hour to sit in an airport in Milwaukee. But I'll ask you if you've had to do this. I'll finish up this article. I think she's only got a couple lines left. But she actually so the weird thing is this article. So she ended up not taking the flight in the end, luckily, because she kicked up enough of a fuss on Twitter.
Oh, really?
And she got rebooked onto a 7 p.m. direct flight because I think this is like the case. We talked about this briefly last week of the airlines catching wind because 240,000 people started sharing it.
Like
and so the airlines went, holy shit, we're sending this person.
And by the way, she actually just didn't do it to complain. She was just saying like, I messed up, but like help me. So it's like, it actually better because I feel like that's the best way to do it. Where like you're like, hey, it was my mistake, I'm having fun with it, but then the airline's like, hey, let me help you,
Yeah, 100%. And the last paragraph of the article is that and I like this because this is kind of what we talked about last week about getting the attention of the airlines. And last week we dealt with some snarky responses from airlines, which was bad. But this person from this airline, I'm not familiar with Jetstar. It's obviously I'm gonna guess it's like Spirit.
I don't know.
But a spokesperson said they offered a number of alternate direct flights to help Alexandra, and then they stated, we thank Miss Duffin for her flexibility, and we were pleased that we were able to assist her to choose a flight at a time that suited her.
Nice.
And I'm like, yeah, you have to say that at the end because nobody wants a round trip 10-hour flight. There's no way that's going to suit you unless. What would be a situation like maybe a family reunion that you're not looking forward to it? So all of a sudden they're like,
I got late.
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, you might want to sit on the airline, have a couple of vodkas, and let's go. All right, at least I'm gonna miss the rehearsal dinner. Fuck.
I mean, it is. I mean, definitely like that's one thing that I always check. I mean, I'm very like I guess detailing when I'm getting flights. I'm like, what are the? Because I don't want shit like that to happen. To get to the point to the airport, it's like, oh, now I gotta flight so long, or like or like so like. I don't, but yeah, definitely don't do I mean, now that you fly a lot, because this is a thing, when we fly a lot. So it's like, for me, it's like, my first thing is like, what's the most comfortable way to get there that in the normal price. You know what I mean? Where I'm like, I'm not spending.
Well, also because it eats into our profit. We're doing it for work.
But that's what I mean. But that's why for me, like, I need to be comfortable. Like, I'm not gonna fly 2 stops just to save $50 or $100, but then just to even do one show where I'm just getting there and then gotta come back the next day. Like that's too much. For me, like it's all as the more comfort I can get to. And so it's like flying whenever I see people like do like the 2 flights or 3 flights or whatever just to save some bucks or whatever. I mean, obviously she did it by mistake. So it's not my thing.
Yeah, and if it adds up to a good savings, I mean, I just did so. Of course, my parents live in Halifax, Nova Scotia. There's no way to get there.
There's no direct flight.
Yeah, there's no direct. So you're looking at a double. You can often look at a double like transfer. To get into Canada. You're lucky if you go LA to Toronto, Toronto to Halifax. That would be nice, but
that's not going to happen.
Often, not a lot of times. And before the pandemic, I got some steals. I got like LA to Boston and then Boston to Nova Scotia. That was great. But I just worked in Kelowna, which is another small Rocky Mountain town in Canada. So in Halifax, 2 small towns. You're looking at a double.
You do have to.
Yeah,
okay.
I had to go.
But I get that because that's the only way. They're too small.
You're bookended by tiny things. But I don't know if you remember this, but was it even last year? Snowstorm in Canada, and I had to go through Mexico to get to LA. And that was a bit surreal. I went down the coast. Was it Baja? Where I was somewhere in Mexico.
Cabo?
Which, it was Cabo, wasn't it? And then, but I didn't know that I'd have to go through customs. I didn't calculate that. I just accepted it because of the snowstorm. I couldn't go through like Toronto or
Yeah.
and
But you're getting out, so you have.
I had to get out.
Customs.
Yeah, I think I had to be back here for work, didn't I? But otherwise, I'm like, I should have just gone back to my parents' place and gone to bed because I went to Cabo or whatever and I didn't know I'd have to go through customs.
Yeah.
And so it was a
It's
fucking
a different
rush.
country.
Yeah,
Yeah. What the
you can't just you can't just transfer.
Like that's, I think that's kind of like, I don't know if that's, is that a very like first world country kind of like mindset of like, oh, I have to do
Immigration.
customs.
Well, no, I think it's a
change.
I think it's a bit of a European thing because that happens in Europe.
You don't have to go through
often.
customs.
Yeah, sure, you can be in Norway.
Well, but that's
and
because
go
if you're
through Holland
but
to get to London.
But that's
So
different because you belong to the European Union.
Well, we're in. Isn't there a North American?
Nah.
What about North American free trade
Yeah,
agreement?
yeah,
Can't
yeah.
I just transport my Canadian vocal goods through?
Nah, come on.
I just feel that there should have been. Oh yeah, because it was fucked up too. Because having to go through that customs, they want to know where I was staying, and I'm trying to explain to them, no, I'm only here for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Where's your hotel?"
Yeah,
thinking
yeah.
I'm just gonna disappear into Mexico.
But it's weird because sometimes, I mean, sometimes you do what is a transfer though, like a do they know like there's transfers that you go into like a, you know, like you don't go through, you're not leaving the country, so you're transferring.
Right.
Yeah.
That should have been. That's what I'm saying. That should have been an option, but it wasn't.
Oh, got it.
And I don't know if that had something to do with this.
Maybe because of the
airport,
flight or something.
or because it's such a holiday.
I don't know, because
destination.
usually there's transfers where
But-
like you don't have to, because you're not
Yeah.
getting out of the airport. That's the thing.
Yeah.
If you're not getting out of the airport, you don't have to go through customs.
Yeah.
You know, it's only when you're entering the country that you're gonna stay.
That's what I thought too. But
Yeah.
they wouldn't let me. They made me go through customs and then. But I did end up sitting outside in the sunshine having some.
So you did
some
leave the
nachos.
airport.
I had to. You had to.
Oh, you had to actually leave
you
the
had to
airport and then go. That was just. I think that's just like a one-off thing.
You had to-
Usually doesn't happen.
The departure lounges, they're right next door to each other, and there's a little cantina in the middle if anybody's been to this part of Mexico. So, yeah, you go through customs, you come out. I had a beer and some nachos, and then I went back into the departures and queued up again. So they're two separate buildings next to each other that you had to do. Now, to go back to the double transfer thing, yeah, I completely, especially when it comes out of my money, when I'm looking at flights, I would rather take, if it's a good difference, like you're saying, if it's $50, just get me to the place.
Yeah.
But if it's a huge savings, I literally sit in an airport lounge going, I'm paying myself. I try to think of it that way.
I mean, again, for me, it has to be like a big ass difference for me to do it. Because for me, like I just prefer just to be quicker to the place and coming back. I mean, I don't like staying in an airport.
Right.
I don't like, so it's like it's got to be literally like almost like 70% savings or something like that.
Yeah.
Like almost very cheap. Where I'm like, all right, this makes.
Yeah.
But like when it's like even like I don't know, it doesn't usually happen because I never see the flights.
Yeah.
I mean, like a lot of the times I never see like a huge difference, you know. And I'm always looking at the same airlines anyways.
Right.
I don't go venture in other airlines.
Yeah.
So I'm not going into like, you know, like you go. I'm just doing the same American or sometimes Southwest.
Right. Yeah. I just go for the cheapest airline.
Yeah, no,
And at a certain point, sometimes I go. Sometimes you just, when it becomes a hassle, sometimes I do just go, I'm just doing this for recreational fun tonight. This is not going to be a money spinner, this one, because, and that happens in Middle America a lot. It's tough to get to. Milwaukee really sticks out to me. I think it's very tough.
Well, actually, that's actually easier to get to. I think it just depends on it's just. You just got, I mean, it's just the big cities, you know, like big airports that have big hubs. That's the thing. It's like because there's little airports everywhere, you know, around the U.S., but like to get to those, it's like, you got to do the 2-3 stops. And sometimes I prefer just to get to the big airport and rent a car and drive, whatever it is.
Right.
Then go to the.
That's often a good choice.
Yeah, because, I mean, also depends on the weather. If it's like during the winter and it's snowing, then I'm like, fuck it, I don't want to drive, whatever. But sometimes you have to because it's like it's the only way to get there, or it's just more cheaper just to even get a car than to fly to the next little airport, So it's like, I mean, it's just you get to start when you start doing it. You get to just do all this like little like tricks that you start learning more and more about like I don't know, travel. Like that's why it gets frustrating when you're like waiting for like when people like it's the first, and sometimes you have to remember like sometimes it's the first time people maybe are traveling, and when you go like when they're looking at the the seats, and I'm like, come on, move it.
People who are having fun going through like customs or security, and like, isn't this exciting?
Yeah.
I had a guy who kept forgetting shit recently at security, and he was just having a great time. And I'm like, I'm tired.
Yeah, of course.
I think I was flying Vancouver to LA last week, and I'm like, oh my god, dude,
just hurry
put
the
all
fuck
the
up.
metal in the bin.
Yes.
Stop. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I know.
And he's like trying to converse with security and stuff, and I'm like, oh god, somebody hasn't been out of the house in 2 years.
Exactly. That's where you go like those. I think there should be two different types of TSA securities. There's always the TSA pre whatever, but like there should be another one like TSA pre for or people that have traveled all the time.
Yeah.
And then for ones it's like this is your first time traveling or you're going on vacation and you don't give a shit about time or whatever. Go to this one.
Maybe,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like Disney.
Maybe that person that's the first person that gets there before you go through the barriers.
Yeah.
And maybe that person should do a little attitude check. Like, is this person annoying or is this person going to be efficient?
Yeah,
so as you're walking up and they go, passport and ticket, oh, thank you. And then when they walk by, go, this guy's fucking annoying. Put all the annoying people in lane one.
The what?
Then put a stamp on your forehead as you go down the
funny.
line.
Yeah.
Yeah, they mark you secretly. So TSA know, this fucker is going to take a while.
Well, I guess it'd be cool to actually get a TSA person here to interview them to see like what they like. I wonder if they just like when they do random screenings or whatever. Is it just because like this person's an asshole? Let me just fuck their day.
Or are they watching behind double tinted glass, a double tinted mirror?
No, I don't think they're that advanced. No, I'm just saying like if there's somebody that's annoying, like as a TSA person, it's like, oh, okay, you're being an asshole. Well, now I'm gonna have to pat you down and like do all this stuff that maybe they don't need to just to be annoying with that person. I mean, I could see that somebody doing that. I could do it. I was like, sorry, you're gonna have to wait.
Do you still get that little annoying feeling when the TSA over explains something to you? Like when you're there putting your shit in the bin, in the bucket, you're putting it in, and they come up going, all of your metal, please, sir. Did you get everything out of your pocket? And you feel like, well, this is my 4th flight this week. But fucking leave me alone.
and that's what I mean. It's like it should be somebody that's like, hey, I travel all the time. I know. You don't have to give me directions. I know. I know what to do.
But by the time, but if you ever said that, immediately they'd be like, please step aside.
Oh, no, of course. That's what I mean. They're going to like, oh, you're being annoying. They're going to have to get you,
You just have to take it.
I do think, it does happen to me. That's another thing, too, with like TSA. Like, it just shows you, like, when you go to a smaller airport, like small, like, those are the ones that really take it seriously. Like, they think they're fucking Jason Bourne, like, they're like, all right, okay, everybody, we're gonna, it's kind of like, all right, man, we're in the middle of nowhere, relax, man. Nobody's coming here to attack this little town. Yeah. But these people, like, because I feel like,
they get your toothpaste. Like, we got him. We got him. He's 5 milliliters over. We got his toothpaste, everybody.
To me, I was like, why? I mean, because obviously, like, if you go to a big city like New York or LA, like, there's so many traffic. People are not. They're like, this is just like go. But those people, like, those are the ones that are annoying ones where they're like, all right, we're gonna have to pat you down, and it's like, there's nobody in this airport, man. It's like what? Like, there's 2 gates here, man. Yeah. Like, I was just gonna say too, like you you mentioned the whole like. Has that happened to you where people have actually patted you down and like grab you stuff and take? Have you gotten stuff taken out, like confiscated?
Oh, I lose shit. I did recently lose my toothpaste
because of that.
Yeah, and
but why do you take it out? Because I don't take shit out. I don't put those little bags. I don't do that. I just go and whatever, like.
See, that's happened recently too. Yeah, I've got a separate shaving kit.
I don't do that.
I just throw that. I pull out my currently I pull up my iPad and my shaving kit.
Oh, that's
Boom,
the thing,
and
because
I
you're
throw them
going,
down.
you're not doing TSA pre. That's why.
Oh, because
Yeah,
they don't.
I'm better than you. That's why. Sorry, you're still the.
Yeah,
the-
you've still been to the same houses. No, I'm not allowed.
No, because I don't do the peasant version
Thanks.
of going to.
Well, I'm not allowed to do TSA pre because I'm on a work visa.
Oh, really?
So
is that what
yeah,
it is?
if you're not American,
I didn't know that.
you're American. I'm
Yeah.
not.
Oh, okay, sorry, I didn't know
Even though
that.
we're both not proudly not American,
Yeah.
but
What are you talking about? I'm
but,
American.
Yes, of course you're American.
Yeah, you are. I'm sure you. But
That's the great thing about this podcast. The guy with the heavy accent is more American than me.
wait. How, do you want me to show you my passport? Like, what do you think I'm not American?
No. Well, no, because we proudly talk about how we're immigrants.
Yes, but I'm American.
But yes, I understand.
Yeah,
I stand corrected.
Because at least
You're
I know
incredibly
I'm
American. You're
free.
one of the most American Americans I've actually met. So
And I'm proud to be an American, even though I'm not from here.
but yes, but I will say, yeah, the small airports, Ireland. I was traveling around Britain and Europe by air on my European tour.
Yeah.
And in Ireland, they confiscated some liquids off of me, and I literally I put
Like
up
what
a fight for
liquids?
about hair gel, toothpaste, Febreze. Comic tools.
Yeah.
And so he busted me, and I was like, dude, I've been traveling with this for like a
Wait,
month.
were they like the standard thing, whatever, 3 ounces, whatever?
So they
that's called?
the bottles were oversized, or the toothpaste was oversized, but the quantity was.
Oh, but that doesn't matter.
It was the dregs
Yeah.
of on my stuff,
Yeah.
and it didn't matter to everybody else. But this guy in
Yeah.
Ireland, he was like, "Nope, done, confiscated everything." Which I just want to say, hotels should have toothpaste.
They do.
No, they do at the front desk or whatever if you request
Oh, you
it
mean like
sometime.
in the?
Yeah, you get shampoo, conditioning,
that's true,
body
yeah.
wash, soap, shower caps, sewing kits.
Yeah,
They have
who's
all that
sewing?
shit.
Who's sewing?
Yeah, who shows up and needs to sew a hole more than they need to brush their fucking teeth?
Yeah. It's like, hey, oh man, I lost the button. Let me just go quickly.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? It's
Yeah.
like nobody does that.
My
Like,
lovely dress sense will make up for my horrible breath.
That's true. That is true. That's a great point.
Why-
It
yeah.
doesn't. They don't have. Yeah, you have to go to the
You have to
front
go and
desk.
ask, and that's even if they do have it.
That's true. Yeah.
Then often they're like, you got to go find whatever
Yeah,
convenience
yeah,
store and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Whereas I'm like, how is their first step shampoo, conditioner, body wash,
Body
soaps,
lotion.
all this shit.
Yeah.
When what we really need, or even just some gum, something.
Sometimes they even have the what is it called, the mint thing, the Listerine thing. They even have that
Do they?
Sometimes-
Often, right, a little thing of mouthwash.
of mouthwash, and they have that, but they don't have toothpaste.
Yeah.
Like what
Yeah.
the fuck? Yeah,
Just
that's
fucking just have a little
that
bit.
is true. They should. I mean,
Boy, the
that
first hotel that does that gets all of our business.
Yes. That's true. It's like you get a nice little toothpaste there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's, if you don't want to use it, you don't use it. If you have your own use, but it's there.
Yeah. The
You
amount
know?
of times I don't need fucking body wash.
Oh yeah, there's times. I mean, and I don't like when they give you just like the 2-in-1 shampoo conditioner. Like,
I don't.
It's
I-
like
I
this
don't-
is like, why am I'm at this point I'm just not washing my hair. Like what
Yeah.
is this? It's like you're giving me just crap.
Yeah, I'm not.
right here.
I don't like that stuff either. I feel like that stuff gives you dandruff. I feel like it's. I don't know. I judge by the bottle.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm not
I don't-
touching this stuff.
But yeah, that should be definitely a thing. I mean, for sure, like in hotel rooms, just to give that,
Yeah.
just to make it even.
Now, so I wanted to do a follow-up question with you about. So we talk about this lady, and she didn't look at the fine print until after she booked it, which is it happens. In Britain, it happens on trains and stuff. Sometimes in Britain, there's replacement buses for train lines. And I learned that lesson quick, but sometimes you forget. You forget to check because you just think you're booking a train, and you have to look at the fine print,
Yeah, of
and it'll
course.
say, "Ooh, bus from Doncaster to Bristol."
Oh,
or
that you
whatever.
thought
You're
it was
like,
because it's gonna be
fuck.
trains, and then all of a sudden you have a bus.
Yeah.
Okay.
So often, this is such a British
Yeah.
thing. I think it might be a European thing overall, but it's a very British thing of like, I've got a train ticket, and they're like, "No, get on the bus."
Oh, that's
Dude,
annoying.
so you have to keep your eyes out for that. But that's what I was going to ask you. Can you think of other things? Because I have two examples of other things that you forget sometimes to think about when you're either grabbing your ticket, maybe in a rush, or going through security.
That I forget to look at the kit or
Yeah,
to
follow
bring?
up. I mean, you're like you said about 20 minutes ago. You're pretty thorough.
Yeah,
you're pretty
yeah.
concise.
Yes.
But I can think of two fuck ups that I make. Sometimes.
You do it because I don't do fuck.
Well, one is right. Okay, fair.
I'm
See?
sorry.
I'm so American. I don't do fuck ups.
Because I'm proud to be an American.
Yeah.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America for the. How does it go?
I'm never gonna be American.
I don't remember.
How does it go? That was fantastic.
No. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America for the country which stands under God, one nation, invisible. And
Indivisible.
indivisible, and unity for all. I don't know.
It's pretty close.
I don't know.
That's pretty close, right?
Wow. Somebody's getting deported. It's probably me, actually. If
Deportation is
I think
watching
there's
these.
pounding on the door upstairs, by the way.
Let them deal
We
with
might
it.
have a guest showing up soon.
Oh,
Here's
think
my
it's
two
your
things,
guest?
dude. My two things are sometimes I forget to book the seat. Sometimes I book a flight, and because I know 2 weeks out, I try to make sure I'm 2 weeks out. I feel like the prices go up after the 2 week margin, and they shoot up. So sometimes it'll be 2 weeks out, and I'll go, okay, 14 days. I better get this done, and I'm busy or I'm going somewhere. So I'll book the flight, and I'll look at the seats later, and I forget. So that can suck when I forget to go back and check that.
Yeah.
Because that's when you end up like wedged. I end
Yeah.
up checking into a flight going, but I bought this flight like 3 weeks ago, and I'm like, oh,
But you
yeah,
didn't
I forgot to.
select the
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, look again.
Yeah. Again, you're a privileged American.
No, it's not privileged American. I'm just a privileged, smart person that travels a lot, so knows what to do with it. No, because
I
that's
can't wait for something to go wrong in your travels.
A lot
I'm
of
like,
things
all
go
right,
wrong.
see, it does happen.
A lot of things go wrong, but I'm just saying because I fly usually with the same airline.
Right. Okay.
You know, when I buy the tickets, I don't have to I can switch seats until the day of the flight.
Oh, right.
So I don't have. So I'm not paying for. I'm not
okay.
doing your paying for baggage, paying for extra. Everything's included.
I don't pay. Everything's included as well, but I just don't do the loyalty programs.
Yeah,
So
but then
so
you're
I
saying
always-
that you when you select the seats is higher, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's not more expensive. Sometimes I just forget to do the seats. I'll book the flights.
Yeah.
And I'll think I'll go back to grab the seats. They're not necessarily at a cost or anything. Often seats are free.
Yeah. No,
You
I
know,
mean, most of the
I
times you have to pay.
Oh.
Like that's pretty every
maybe
airline.
in your loyalty program.
No,
thing.
I don't. But every other airline,
Right.
if you're not have a status, you have to pay extra if you want to get good seats.
Yeah, if you want good ones.
Yeah.
Right. Comfort Plus and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't do any of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I take the free seats or whatever. I'll
Yeah.
get the window or aisle.
Yeah.
I like the window the most.
Yeah.
So, but occasionally I forget to do that, and
okay.
that's when you'll get wedged in the middle.
Of course. Yeah, but I don't do that because I always have the
So, who's the airline that got your loyalty program with?
American airline.
So you're always with American.
I'm always pretty much fly all the time with American, unless it's short flights around here is Southwest because
Okay.
Southwest has good
Right.
to go to Vegas or San Francisco.
So, because I say American are usually of the three major airlines, American's usually about in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually United is the cheapest, then American, then Delta.
Yeah.
I find. So does that mean you're willing to spend a little bit more on the American one?
Yes, I mean, I don't even look at the other ones.
Right. Okay.
I mean, unless it's a crazy amount,
Yeah.
where it's not okay, this is not normal. Sometimes I just do to compare
See.
a little bit, but I don't even go into the other ones because I know they're all pretty much all the same. There's no unless you're looking into Spirit or the whatever Frontier or whatever.
I don't do budget airlines, but I always check on Expedia.
Yeah.
I go to Expedia
But my
first.
thing is
and I see what's cheap,
Yeah.
and then I go to their thing, and so I don't have a loyalty program, but
Yeah.
I reckon I spend a lot less money than you.
No, I mean you should.
So-
I mean, but I'm getting better service. I mean, I'm like,
Are you?
yeah.
You're still wedged on a
No, I'm
fucking
well,
tube in the air. For
No, but you're
3 hours.
like in the back. You're like in the middle. You're not getting. I get.
Yeah, but see, to me, that's all
I get
aesthetic.
bumped up to first class pretty much often. Because
Okay,
of
well-
that. I get the free services, free drinks, free all that stuff. Like all that stuff that I don't have to pay. I get in the free bags. I get in the quicker things. When I get on in the airport, I go to the priority lane. I have to do a lane, so I can just do the changes are quick. If there's a cancellation or something, I can change to a good flight right away, quick. I don't have to wait.
See, I get that too, but maybe it's just because I'm charming.
Nah.
it is. Honestly, I have no problems, and also, but I mean, we've covered this before. I don't see the bonus in.
I mean, for me,
wanting
I do see the difference
beyond.
because I've been in the other side when I had to fly other airlines that I'm not.
Yeah.
That I'm not, that they bought it for me or somebody,
Right.
like, and I have to fly, another airline and they don't have that thing that I'm used to with like having and it just shows you that it's like, oh, this is just very annoying. Like, it's just like not knowing that I can get into the thing faster, get into the thing changes quickly, they're all like,
Right.
I like everything as quickly as possible where I can just don't have to like, I'm ready to go. I don't have to like wait or whatever. So
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I appreciate that. I just don't. I've
Yeah, for
never
me,
seen the value in it. I like.
and that's fine.
But it's like I said, I always
everybody's
feel I'm
different.
paying myself for the time that it takes sometimes, like the extra, like I said, if I take a double flight to save $200, so I have to sit in Detroit for an hour, I'm like, I just paid myself $200.
Yeah.
That's my working class,
Got it.
non-American attitude.
No, that. I mean, for me, it's more about opportunity, time, cost. Like for me, it's like I gotta get to the place fast. The faster I can get to, the better for me. I can have my time work better. Like not just be stranded in some airline just to,
Like I'm, because I'm taking the red eye to get to Arkansas this weekend. I'm taking the red eye. The price difference was crazy. I mean, you could get up at 6 a.m. To get to Arkansas for like 2 p.m. or whatever.
At 2 p.m.
Yeah, but it was really.
How much was it?
It was huge. I would say the difference was probably $600 or $700
The difference from what?
to go on the red eye instead.
Okay.
It was probably.
So it was $700 of a difference?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
if
it
you
was
left,
crazy.
if you did the red eye instead of the 6
Yeah,
a.m.
so I'm doing like the red eye for like, I don't know, I'm going to say $250. Whereas day of
would have been like
like 900.
Oh yeah, no, of course.
So I was like,
and
all
also it's better
But
because
also
you get
this
in there
red eye-
early.
Yeah, I get in at 9 a.m., but also the red eye I am sitting somewhere at 6 a.m. There is a transfer at 6 a.m.
Well, that makes sense.
But I've told
it's just
myself that, just one, it's a one stop,
Yeah.
and it's breakfast.
Yeah.
And I'm see, this is the thing I tell myself too when I have to do these extra stops to save money. I also say, because I'm tall, I like to get out and stretch. I like to have that time, an hour in between being cramped in these seats for me. I think of it as an advantage. And that's the way I approach this red eye, where I'll be sitting in Atlanta or something at 6 a.m. I'm like, I'll have breakfast and I'll treat myself to a breakfast with the money I'm saving, and then, and then get on to the destination. So I guess it depends on how you look at it. I'll tell you the biggest mistake that I've made, which wasn't on a booking, but it always happens if you're going to Canada, but it will happen other places too. But you'll get your duty free confiscated if you forget to transfer your duty free from your baggage or whatever, because you carry duty free on.
Yeah, but it's already staple or something.
Yeah, it's all sealed.
Yeah.
They confiscate it in
Why?
Canada because they're assholes.
I thought Canadians were nice people.
They're dicks in airports.
Really?
They're dicks in airports.
Really? There's no nice.
The people can be nice. I almost missed a flight when I told you about that double exchange. I was in the lineup and there was a staff member there, and I literally looking at the queue, I could tell this queue is going to take 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm boarding in 20.
Yeah.
Which is just tight.
Yes.
Because boarding can take 20 minutes.
Of course.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I asked this staff member while everybody's in the queue, and I just went, hey, listen, my flight's boarding in 20 minutes. Is there any way I can expedite this? And she was like, nope. It's first come, first serve. And I'm like, oh my God. But luckily, everybody listening got so Canadian and they all went, go, just go, go. I was like, oh, thanks. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that it fucked up. And so in that sense, they were Canadian.
Yeah.
But there is
But the people
always,
were not the people that were working.
yeah, the people that were working were assholes.
Dicks. Wow.
and the people in the lineup were nice. But that's not always the case.
I wonder why that is. Like, why is it like people that work in airports? I mean, is it because you deal with a lot of annoying people? You know what I mean? Like, you get to the point where like you just start hating people every day. You're like, because I mean, it is every job is kind of like pretty much like what's it called? That movie with Bill Murray that happens everything all the time.
Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day. It's kind of like Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like if you're TSA, if you're the person, it's pretty much the same thing. People asking you the same questions like, can I pack? You know, and you got to say, does he have any batteries? And all this stuff. Take out your things. Take off your shoes. You did it. You repeat it all the time. At one point, you're going to be like, I hate people, right? Like at this,
their empathy just
it's going to be
away.
like, you start seeing just fucking... And then you start seeing, like, look at this asshole just thinking, like, right away. So I'm assuming that's why they become dicks.
But
right?
you have been, I think so too. I think you're right. I think they bring their outside annoyances into work with them sometimes, and because you have been in I think we both have been in situations where they're more organized, where even when the queue gets insane, right? You're looking at an hour and a half queue with all these multiple flights, and then somebody from the airline will come out and go, is anybody flying on the 9:30 p.m. to whatever, and then people can, all right, come with me, and they can help in that way. But then in other airports, you're like, this is a situation where one of the staff members could take control, and they're not. They're like, fuck yeah, if you miss your flight, you miss your flight, you're screwed. That happened at Austin to me recently, and but luckily, like, they just gave up on all of us. They were canceling flights because of staff shortages, and then they offered hotels to everybody, and then the lineup to get your free hotel was like 2 hours long.
Yeah.
No matter what kind of privileges you had.
That's the
and
annoying
I ended up
part.
just staying with a friend.
Yeah. That's the thing, annoying part, just getting all this cancellations. I have a quick question I want to ask you. Like, if you're on a flight and you have to choose between sitting between another person, who do you choose between Elon Musk or Kanye West? Or West. His name is. I don't know. Is it Yee?
Yay.
Is it
It's
Whatever.
I think I would. You must have an answer to this for yourself, but I would choose.
No, I just thought about it right now.
I would choose Elon Musk. I think Kanye is incredibly annoying. And I've always thought Kanye was annoying. Even now, when people are
you
like,
thought even when he was saying all this crazy shit.
Yeah, I've been boycotting Kanye West products for my whole life.
Really?
So I'm ahead
his
of the
music
curve.
and stuff.
I don't listen to it. I couldn't tell you.
Like even I listened to his stuff when like the news when he first came out. Like Graduation and all that stuff, and like those were. I mean, I like those songs. Later then as he kept getting bigger and I actually started like, I don't like this song, so whatever.
Right.
So like,
I don't own any of his shoes or music.
Well, shoes I don't own them. I mean,
and I always thought those Yeezys were ugly. I thought they were ugly ass shoes. I don't know how he pulls it off, but
he can't pull it off anymore.
Yeah. Do you think this is a permanent? This is done. You don't think he can come and apologize?
No, he went to Skechers, right?
What do you mean he went to Skechers?
He went into the headquarters of Skechers. You know that shoe company?
Yeah.
To try to be like, hey, you want my shoes?
Try to get them to take him?
Yeah, and then Skechers like, hey, Sketch the fuck out of here.
Really?
Don't make fun of the Jews.
Yeah,
Holy cow! He's getting even Skechers gets to say they declined Kanye. Here I am bragging that I've declined him my whole existence. I've never once bought into this fucker. But
what? You always thought that he was an anti-Semite?
I did not think he was anti-Semite. I just always thought he was a giant douchebag.
Okay.
So that's which I mean, there's anti-Semites also giant douchebags.
Yes,
there's a correlation.
When you start thinking you're better than everybody else, that's when the biggest problem comes through. When you start thinking I'm this and I'm a genius. I think it's like if you're a genius, you don't call yourself a genius. You know what I mean? Like that's everybody else does, and you don't have to do it because if you're a genius, you're above everybody else. You don't need to.
You shouldn't have to tell people. Yeah.
And you don't even have to because it's like, to me, when you're a genius, it's kind of like your whole life, you're dealing with like kindergartens, your whole life.
Right. Yeah.
Imagine dealing with, imagine telling a 4-year-old kid, I'm a genius. And he's like, I pee my pants. I'm a genius. I pee my pants, but I'm a genius. You're going to tell me. And the kid's like, what the fuck? It's like, that's what, if you're really like in an above mental thing, that's what it is. So it's like, you don't need to say it.
So how did you feel about his music before he did all this shit?
No, I said I did. Obviously,
you like Graduation.
Yes, he's talented. Obviously, he's talented. And I even saw the documentary about how he started and all that stuff. That he's like, I want to be good. It just shows you the drive that we go through as comics and stuff like that. But what I mean, like everything happens is like, I think fame, either shows the true reality of the person. Maybe all his life, it wasn't. Obviously, because he wasn't big enough to showcase his true personality. But now that he has the power or the money to do it, then it's like, here it is. And now, I definitely don't like that. And then again, his music later on, I definitely weren't like, it wasn't, I wasn't even liking it.
Yeah. So do you feel the same way then? You'd rather be sat next to Elon Musk?
Oh, yeah.
At least there's something.
At least.
If he wants to talk.
Yeah. He'll talk.
Just.
No. I mean,
TSA warned me about this guy. He just walked away.
I mean, I guess I'll be like, I'll definitely be like, what would you ask him? Like, hey, what'd you about Twitter? Like, what's your end goal here? Like, what do you do after this? Because I mean, that's the thing.
I don't think I could grill him or interview him. I'd have to say something.
Okay, so how did you? I'm Elon Musk. How did you get me? Like, I'm just here. I'm Elon Musk right now. And I'm looking at my Twitter that I just bought, and then you're sitting, and and I'm sitting, and you sit next to me. What do you say?
I would just say we're obviously in first class.
Yes, and you obviously got bumped up.
Yes, I obviously got bumped up because I'm charming.
Cowboys, Elon.
So in all my charm, I would ask him. I wouldn't actually talk about shit like that. I would probably go, what is a billionaire gonna eat on a flight like this? What does a billionaire order for food? Or what does a billionaire drink? Surely they don't have alcohol your caliber on here. I'll be on the vodka. That's my general.
Please don't talk to me anymore. Wow.
Then I'm on the...
All right. Thank you.
I shot my shot with Elon Musk. Turns out.
But actually, what he would say, he'd be like, how the hell did you get into my private jet? Because I fly private. Like, why are you here? Get out.
What I really want to have happen is for him to just pull out a bottle of nice alcohol or something. We'll enjoy our.
Yeah.
We'll
What was your thing that you would pitch to him? To be like, hey, like your opportunity to pitch him an idea, because for him, even like $10 million is like nothing. So it's like for you.
Go, can you help me get better sound on my comedy reels? Can you help me figure out how to work a lapel mic? I don't. That's all I need at this point, Elon. I don't need one of your fucking cars. I just want to figure out how to get better sound on comedy reels.
All right. I think we're almost done because we have the other guest.
Yeah, man.
But I think next time we're gonna have Elon Musk then in the podcast. Elon,
Excellent.
come by to talk about what's your.
Tune in.
We want to learn about what you want to do with the world.
Yeah. We'll have somebody from the TSA as well.
All right. Actually, I think we have a better chance to get Kanye now.
That's true.
To get him on the podcast. But remember, everybody, to subscribe, to let us subscribe to the podcast. Follow us on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter, and also like if you have stories like this, like because I think it's cool to just kind of like we just want to share these stories that happens in terms of traveling, and then because we love to hear opinions, like what would you do, in certain situations, or has this happened to you?
And that's because that's the other thing I was going to tell you. When I had about $180 worth of alcohol confiscated off me when I was going through Toronto, even though it was sealed in the duty free and everything, and they were like, you had to take this out and put this in your suitcase. So aside from the toothpaste and all that other shit that you get confiscated, what have you had confiscated off you
That you're really
that's-
pissed about.
that pisses you off royally? Yeah, see if you can beat my $180 worth of alcohol.
That's fucked up.
It was so annoying,
Unless
man.
we
I
can
had
talk
really
more about
nice-
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can tell you about how I get in. Next time, we also want to talk about how I got in through TSA, through flying, without my ID.
Ah,
And I flew with no ID, everybody. And I'll give you the tips on how to do it.
strip search.
No ID.
I thought that's what happens. They need some deep DNA.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. They went deep. All right. Remember to keep subscribing, follow us, and we'll talk to you later. Bye, hello.